Everybody's scared of the government, you know what I'm saying, because they killed Tupac and they killed Biggie Smalls. Everybody's scared of the government, you know what I'm saying, because they killed Tupac and they killed Biggie Smalls. I don't care what y'all say.
What do you think you're most known for? Your acting, your music, or the controversy that surrounds you?
My big mouth. When we say the fake hip-hop shit, we talking about the government.
Listen, I love the government, man. CIA, FBI, I love y'all niggas. Don't come knocking on my fucking door.
When we say the fake hip-hop shit, we talking about the government.
Listen, I love the government, man. CIA, FBI, I love y'all niggas. Don't come knocking on my fucking door. Important the real. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line.
The government brainwash our people with the mind control theory. That's what they do. So it makes our people like it. They keep playing that same song. The same song keep playing, you start to like it. You start to get probed with it. You start to get cloned with it. So then for the clone exists, then it just takes over. It takes over the human body. It takes over the spirit. It takes over the soul.
They chance than we do.
And my people,
because they're so threatened by us, man.
I'm not crazy at all, okay? Everybody always saying that Dirty is crazy. Dirty is not crazy at all. Dirty just foresee a lot that a lot of people don't foresee. Everything that we saying, y'all gonna film, y'all gonna put out, right?
No, we edit.
Oh, y'all gonna edit. So the good shit y'all gonna edit, the bad shit y'all gonna give to the government, right?
No.
Well, let me tell you, the movie shows it, but I'll share it with you right now.
All right.
All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body, yours.
Uh-huh.
We give them a small electrical charge. I'm just connecting. Don't act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver in order to make it. So they were hypnotizing women, you know, said they were being invaded by aliens. And the fetus starts growing, right? Needs food. Well, they can use cows and sheep, too. It's, again, a food source. That's all we need. After about 14 weeks, all of a sudden, that fetus is gone. Because they've learned to take, that's when the fetus starts developing its own blood supply. Then they've used a pituitary hormone extract that they have, which accelerates the being that grows. And the original technology was given to our government by the Greys. Now, the reason was that our scientists were all excited because we could have spare parts. If you need a heart or a liver or anything, you won't have any rejection. It's your own DNA, right?
Okay, because theoretically, if we have overpopulation, we don't need more people, right?
But the so-called elite are selecting on who they want to have around anyway, so if we want to keep people going as long as we can. I talked to the doctor that was working on regeneration of Castro, for instance.
Right.
On the DNA sequencing. And they're just learning about this.
Well, my understanding is that a lot of presidents have already been replaced.
That's right.
Yeah,
I don't think
they're walking around. They look old, but they basically some of the people are just
I'll
second,
just give you
third
something
copies.
I'll give you something to ponder. Get some old videos of George Bush, when he first came into office. Look at the person and listen to him speak. Look at his actions and listen to everything that's there. Now, it's a lot easier to put somebody out in front to act as a, you know, even Bush did. He had somebody else that was up there acting like he is and look like.
So I want to talk about some serious issues such as, okay, here it comes. Nuclear proliferation. Nuclear proliferation. Nuclear proliferation. Nuclear proliferation.
Even Hitler had he had his stand. In fact, his stand-in was the one that they found in the ground over in Germany. I mean, Hitler and Eva and the dog and 14 other people got aboard a plane and flew down to Barcelona, Spain. You were aware of that, and then ended up in Antarctica or in Swabenland, and then died a few years ago in Brazil.
That's what we heard. That's
I
what we heard.
I have all the documents from our own government.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a contact, one of our
Stalin
contacts.
even, Stalin asked for the, you know, they tried to burn the body and he got the body back and he said, wait a minute, different ears and the testicles were different and everything else. So they knew it wasn't Hitler.
But is it a clone or not?
Oh, now you know going about cloning. Cloning techniques, since 1938, they've been making clone people. There's 8 countries making clones. I have a doctor friend
but
that
I
all
wanna
it
know
does
where
is treat the clones.
Where do you get your information?
I get it from some of the people that are willing to come forth, and they talk to me because they hope I'll put the information out, because they always got 2 people following them and they may be killed. If I start talking about cloning too much, the people that get involved into that disappear on it. So I don't go into too many more details, but there is information that's available, and it's more and more of that's coming on the line. I just told you, go rent the movie.
Okay, Boys from Brazil.
Yeah, and you'll see the whole technique on what they show it to you in different places, so you can imagine what it's going on.
Okay, so
now let's go to the next step, because this is the most important part.
All right.
If your physical reality that you have, based on this physical life that you have, this dream, is made up of the experiences that is impregnated on your body and in your mind, consciously, right? Mm-hmm. Your soul memory is another thing. It goes back whatever time that you elected to be in this incarnation for whatever reason. Now let's show you the division on these things. Since the body's very physical, and we just got you making a physical being in a few months for spare parts, they said, now we've got the perfect deal. How can we have that work better? Well, if you go to the hospital today and get an encephalogram, what's that? That's the memory of your conscious mind. It's on the CD. Let's download it on this being. Now we got a walking, talking duplicate that has the total memory that you have, because we just took it off of your own mind.
Okay, it's like Blade Runner, the android.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. The only thing is that it's like this DVD recorder. Sometimes you have glitches in it, so you have to have them tuned up occasionally or redone. And so we take them to Camp David, or there's a wing at Bethesda Hospital, to just tell you. If you go down there and check, you'll find the nurses, if they're willing to come forth, they'll tell you they work on those people, and they call them the others. I thought it was interesting. They're people. Remember, these people can think and act, but they don't have soul. That's also prophesized. Soulless beings.
That's true. That's true.
Now we have another agenda that's going on, so you have to be careful of all this. There are many extraterrestrials that would like to be in on the game right now, so they can sometimes will come into these physical beings that we've made to manipulate them.
I see.
So now you have a combination effort that you have to look at, and discernment. You have to discern what the game is. Well, just figure that most of the leaders we have in the world have been bought and paid for or created to think a certain way in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you're most known for? Your acting, your music, or the controversy that surrounds you?
My big mouth.
Tupac dissed Dr. Dre, calling him out, saying that Dre can't make up his mind on men or women. When Dre should be producing, he's upstairs sucking dick, eating pussy. This interview was made in 1996. Also that same year, dissing Quincy Jones, saying that he was invited to Q's house. Tupac seen Q's daughter and wanted to holler at her. However, Q asked Tupac if he could have a moment with him, and asked Tupac if he would fuck him in the ass. Tupac replied, "I don't get down like that." When Tupac put this on tape, he broke the oath. His life would be in danger until his death. Normally, when Tupac talks, he talks with a lot of character. But in this clip, he's trying to convince everyone he didn't sell his soul.
The reason I am who I am today is because I can look directly into my face and find my soul. It's there. It's not sold. I didn't sell it. I didn't sell it. I didn't sell it. It's there. It's not sold. I didn't sell it. I am who I am today is because I can look directly into my face and find my soul. It's there. It's not sold. I didn't sell it.
In 1996, things started to get really ugly for Pac. Pac got to the point where everything he become, he still wasn't happy. You would think doing movies, being in sitcoms, being cameo appearances, it would brought him joy. But the thing that was troubling Pac is how he got it. See, Pac knew the truth, and the public didn't know the truth. He knew he sold out to Baphomet to get a recording deal. That's the only way you get in Hollywood. You have to sell out to the Baphomet. That's just one part. If you want to be in movies and star in movies and change your whole career, you have to go to the director's couch. By this time, Pac was feeling suicidal. Tupac was not killed over disputes about wanting out of Death Row Records. Tupac was killed because he broke the Illuminati oath.
What do you think you're most known for? Your acting, your music, or the controversy that surrounds you?
My big mouth.
I think Bush got a personal beef with the old dirty bastard in this world. I think Bush is the most insanest motherfucker that ever motherfucking lived.
I like Bush. Bush is a straight gangster, son. As long as he back up the fuck up off of me, man, we'll be alright, man. You know what I'm saying? All George Bush need to do is get his dick sucked. He won't be after me no more. Straight.
And that's just how it is. I can't explain nothing but tell you the government is out to assassinate me and get it over with. That's it, period.
I just wanted to know if you've learned anything new in jail while you were in jail, or any.
Learned niggas trying to kill a nigga, man. Period.
Yeah, how so?
Government, man. I don't know, G. They on my ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to shake these cats. You know what I'm saying? These are the big cats, son. I'm talking about these motherfuckers is President Bush and them niggas, right? You know what I'm saying? Niggas on my ass, G. For real, G. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no smiles, G. You know what I mean? You don't see me grinning or shit, G. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, G, I got to shake these niggas.
I'm not crazy at all, okay? Everybody always saying that Dirty is crazy. Dirty is not crazy at all. Dirty just foresee a lot that a lot of people don't foresee.
You know, you're still on tour.
I do, but I don't take it for granted.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I mean, I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
My book is about my wanting to sing ever since I was a little girl, and my family lied to me and told me that I was better than Shirley Temple, and I believed them.
See, you're not helping a kid when you do that.
No, and I totally believed them and everything, and then when I was 6, all of a sudden, you know, I was a they started to, like, tell my younger cousin that she was...
she was the real singer?
Yeah, and it, like, really upset me, so I, like, summoned Satan, and I write about how I made it...
Where do you summon Satan?
It's in the chapter called Eat, Pray, Love, Conjure Satan. And when I was 12 years old, I signed a deal with Satan in my room, and I was to...
CBS doesn't condone this.
Wait a minute. Because I wanted to get famous no matter what, and, you know, then I forgot that I had this deal with Satan and everything, and then I got really famous.
Do you think that's safe for kids to be around guns and stuff like that? I mean, I'm just curious.
How do you keep the kids safe without guns? They were in a lockbox that the police broke.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
saying, if the police come in and raid my place and break into my gun boxes, you're gonna find guns. But these aren't. Well, I'm not in a gang. What difference does it make?
Now, you were actually stopped for this and let go. Because you have a license for it,
No,
right?
this is their 9th time coming to my house. The problem was this time they came to my office and took my kids from an office. Not from my house, from an office. So now when I can't have my kids at my office,
that's an issue.
I must be
the
definitely. Most terrible black dude. Because here's the whole thing. You gonna charge me with child endangerment? After I adopted 7 children and had them for 14 years in this state? Really? You coming after my kids now? Because it was already a witch hunt. Now you want my babies? Yikes.
That's wild, man. That's wild, Cat.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, shit. I'm sure you want this year to go.
Thank you, baby.
I'm sure you want this year to finish up, man. Do you have any resolutions or something you might do different next year?
Yeah, I'm gonna be white next time. In my next life, I'm Caucasian, and I ain't taking no for an answer. Let me explain something to you. I know it's people doing poorly in this country.
Yeah.
And they shot Trayvon Martin dead for looking kind of like I look.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King and Malcolm X ended up dead for telling the truth. So as a comedian, I don't think it won't happen to me. I think they've thrown me in jail 36 times in 36 months, and I think you've never seen me in a court of law. That means they're effing with me. And today, they crossed the line, because now they took my babies.
All right, man. Well, Cat, we wish you luck, man.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
I mean, we all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us.
Yeah.
But now it's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times.
Right.
I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
When Martin Lawrence was in that chair, we talked about Blue Streak.
I love that dude.
He played a role in your life, I believe. How do you feel about him as a person, as an artist?
Martin Lawrence is the guy that showed everybody you can make it from D.C. to Hollywood. And I had a personal stake in his success. Every time he did something, it made me feel inspired and really good. And he was always real nice to me. He'd sit me down, "What's going on with you, baby boy? What? We'd talk about comedy, whatever." And, you know, when we did Blue Streak, we were promoting it, and Martin had a stroke. He almost died. And then after that, I saw him, and I was like, "Oh, my God, Martin, are you okay?" And he said, "I got the best sleep I ever got in my life." That's how tough he is. So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, "They are trying to kill me"?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
Before I started blasting on the net about this, somebody said something about the Mark 1 to 4 clones, and the first one being called an organic robotoid. And that's what it was called, even though there's no robotic parts in it at all. Anyway, Mark 2 is an REM-driven clone. Okay, now what that means is when you go to sleep, the Illuminati, this is their main form of communication too. They don't call people on the phone. They don't meet at the Bohemian Grove anymore. Since they got cloning, they meet at the cloning station when they go to sleep. Each of them I don't know how they do it exactly, okay, or else I'd know how to block it. But they can transfer your consciousness into a clone at the cloning station if they have a clone of you. And they used to have to use a tissue sample from you, or I guess they said the cells from a woman's pap smear is like really rich in the cells to make one of these duplicate clones. They used to use kids' foreskins that were discarded at the hospital that got removed. That's what happened to me. But now they said they've upgraded the technology in the last 10 years, so now they only need blood. What they used to do with the tissue, well, they could also, they used to set this little oil drill looking thing over a person's forearm, strap their arm to a chair. And this drill, it had things on it that opened up, right? Now, it would go in, and when it spun, these things would open up. But then when it stopped, the things would close again. Now this is done. It goes in, comes out, in, comes out. And what it was doing, it has to agitate the tissue. They told me when I was a kid, to a certain degree. I guess, like they said, the easiest way to tell a person in layman's terms about it is, you know, when you have a hangnail and you pull it off, and the white stuff that accumulates inside, and eventually it'll form like scab and new skin, and it'll grow over. Well, to get that white stuff to really work good, they agitate the tissue a certain amount of times. Now they just agitate blood from like a blood sample even. And yeah, cloning is very prevalent. It's like a secret thing among the like elite. They use it for their crazy stuff. You name it, they've done it. Like jump off cliffs, everything. I know all about it. The thing was, when I was memory repressed, I was seeing other people becoming unmemory repressed, and I hated this place and these people. It's a bunch of scumbags doing nasty things to each other, right? Like, there's privileged ones there, and there's underprivileged ones there, and so people are pretty mean on people. And well, I wanted them to do the awakening on me, so I could go to the cops and get the cops on them. Well, the thing is, they are the cops too. Like, this is the linchpin in how the Illuminati NWO works, because like most of the leaders from the G20 countries go there, about 14 of the G20 countries, and then there's leaders from countries that don't even fit in the G20 that go there too, right? And cloning, it's really normal. Well, Britney Spears made a video about this place, because thing was, to get advertised and promoted and stuff, she had to basically sell her clone, use of her clone at the cloning center. So the thing was, she signed up right away thinking, yeah, sure, I'll be famous. Well, thing is, they wanted to use her every night. Old men and stuff, old men and clones on her, and real people on her clones too. So she doesn't have dreams anymore. Oh, they make songs and stuff about this all the time, about stuck in the dreams, and Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street is based on this. Avatar is based on this too. They do it all the time, communicate this way. But the thing is, cloning is a flawed technology this way, because your mind isn't the same. You're more. It's kind of like, you know, how, did you ever see Pet Sematary by Stephen King, the movie?
Yeah.
Where they bury it and they come back whack. Well, they're almost as bad as that, and this is only one aspect of what they do. This is the biggest expose on the Illuminati guys ever, what they do secret, right? Because the thing being, how I know is because I acted very loyal to them when in my 20s, right? Well, the thing was, if you don't act compliant there, they will beat the hell out of your clone, and it hurts just like real life. Right, like this, and they can turn it up to the pain threshold on a remote control. They have everything down, and people are scared to talk about this because of the lizard aspect and the fact they can just keep cloning you and torturing you and torturing you and torturing you. New body, because they make multiples of people. Some people are grown in the tank with deformities, and they just scrap those ones, throw them in the chipper. But the other ones, they keep them for backup bodies until they wear out the first one. Sex-wise, you know, I'm not trying to be vulgar or anything, but they do a lot of vulgar stuff there. Yeah, I'm telling all about them, what they do there, and there's other stuff. Now, they have these clone parties, okay? Oh, and also they get, I'll just tell you flat out, because they showed me, they call it the catalog. They get the school pictures from schools all over North America, and they look at the cutest ones, and they get the medical stuff from them and clone them and use them for sex slaves. Not without the parents' permission, and it doesn't really matter if they had permission or not, right? You know. But this is what they do. I'm just telling you the severity of what they do there, right? Like, trust me, I am not a crackpot. Like, and I don't get anything from this. I'm not writing a book or looking to write a book. I'm looking to crush these people. But the problem is they're the richest and most powerful people in the world, and I'm just one person, right? So,
You said that they've got a facility. Do you know where that facility is? Is there an address or a building? Or?
Yes. Well, they're in deep bases, right? Like this Dulce base. It has an entire floor devoted to cloning, okay? Now, it also has another floor devoted to gene splicing. You should see some of the stuff I've seen. Beaver, rats, and all kinds of stuff. They're trying to make weapons for war, and they showed me everything. They thought I was loyal. They started showing me everything. They totally thought I was loyal. Like, oh, my ex-family will not speak to me now. I said, I'm going to expose this. You guys are going to help me. And they said, we're not going to help you. We'll get killed right along with you. And I said, well, I'm going to do it alone. And they said, don't ask us for help. And I said, I'm sending people to you with lie detector tests. Lie on it and go to jail. And then they're looking around as clones saying, we don't want to lie on a lie detector test, right? I said, well, I'm welcoming all lie detector tests, and we're going to line it up, or we're going to line it up, these lie detector tests, and everything's going to get proven.
So have you taken a lie detector test yet?
Not yet, no. I haven't had one available. But the thing is, it's so widespread, the corruption stuff. It's even bigger than what you truthers think that it is. It's they have police and doctors and everything there loyal so that they can have clone sex with like a Britney Spears or an Angelica Jolie or something, and while they're sleeping, because they're like, what are we doing when we're sleeping? It's a big waste of time. We can go there and have lots of fun. So, but it's a terrible, diabolical, nefarious place. I've seen all kinds of stuff. Oh, the Picton murders up in Canada, with that guy that killed all the hookers. That was set up by them. They videotaped all the murders. They used to clone Picton into the place and had him running around talking to him, and he felt like he was like a celebrity, right? Anyway, he used to smash them with a ball-peen hammer. Now, I'll tell you who was there, and this is how I know everything, okay? When I was 5, they brought me there to be used as what they call a diddle kid, okay? But all I'd do was cry and stuff. So they said, do you have any other kind of use? Do you sing or dance or something? So anyway, when I was 5, to keep them off me, I started singing like original songs there, just right out of the blue. Turns out, the first one, people liked it, and they had a famous person use it, and then they came back for more, and I made more, and other people came back wanting to hear more. It was just a kid that was making these songs, right, for free, because they never paid me. Nobody knew, right, totally foolproof. So anyway, lots of people, famous, high-profile people went there, right? I'm kind of apprehensive. I should have had it on my miniature tablet here, but I forgot to. My Facebook profile picture, okay? Just look at it, and you're gonna say, okay, something weird is happening here. I'm on a Megadeth album cover, all cut up. It's like a picture of a clone of me, all messed up with a skeleton coming out of my chest and Megadeth up at the top. Well, anyway, it's a close-up of my face, and people look at that and they say, okay, now I got to look into this. And trust me, I'm telling you the biggest secrets of the
Illuminati. Holy cow, it is your face.
Yeah, it is, kind of, yeah. Not kind of at all, it is me. I was asking, well, I'll just tell you, Queen Elizabeth got really interested in this magic kid that could make these songs out of thin air. So she had me serenading her because she thinks she's really special. She's pretty insane, by the way, by 5 different ways. She rules this cloning station, basically. Her and Vladimir Putin. All of them are there. Muammar Gaddafi was there. He's not actually dead, by the way. That was a clone of him that died. And all the people around him jostling the camera, the video, the phone video. They were all in on it. He's not dead. That was a clone that they killed. That's why they buried his body in a remote location nobody will ever find, because it's a clone, and the cells are different and stuff, I guess.
And we've just received some very graphic, dramatic video. I want to warn our viewers that it is dramatic and it is graphic video coming into us from El Arabiya, the Arabic language television station. This is what we believe we're seeing here: a wounded Muammar Gaddafi earlier in the day, earlier this morning, in Sirte, his hometown in Libya. It looks like he's still alive in this picture, although badly wounded, and he's being taken away. There he is. I don't know if we want to freeze that shot right in the middle, but you could see Gaddafi is still alive in this video that El Arabiya has made available in Sirte. We are told that he's dead, so he obviously died afterwards.
They're grown in 5 months in a big glass tank full of like salty water, and just takes 5 months. And it's no cost at all. It's basically maintenance. They just got to get tissue from something has to be done. These people are like over corrupt. I don't know if there's a word for it in the English language. They bring people to the cloning station and enslave them and have the option of allowing them to remember the memory. If they leave you if they leave you memory repressed, it will give you symptoms in real life, and you'll just think that you're sick. You won't know. It depends on what they do to you as a clone. If they're torturing you, you'll get badly sick. You'll get heart damage. Like, my heart's messed up, and I'm only 37. Just turned 37. And yeah, they strap you to a rack and freaking slice you and everything. And people sit around in a crowd watching you in this big, well, not big. It's a stadium, and it has a hockey boarded ring, but it's smaller than a normal hockey rink. And the celebrities and kings and queens from weird countries are all there, sitting in the stands, watching this weird Faces of Death scenario thing. Made people sword fight. They made me sword fight there. I got all chopped up as a clone. And the thing is, they can have multiple clones of you, right? Now, they got chips in these clones too, so they turn you into the next clone, like, within a matter of like 30 seconds. Like, deactivate one clone and go over to this one and click it on. And I've experienced it. It's everything goes black. You don't have dreams anymore. Some of the celebrities make songs. I've made songs for them there about not having dreams anymore, and your dreams are lost and blah blah blah. Your heart this, heart that. Like, I made a lot of songs there.
Can I ask, Donald, how do you know that you're the real you?
Scars and clones. Well, these duplication clones can't walk around in public without what they call a handler. They have to be babysat so that they don't bite someone on the face or start a fire in a house, or they're like they go with the first impulse.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the episode of Family Guy where Stewie clones himself, but he doesn't do the cloning job right, and he creates what's known as bitch Stewie, who's really retarded, kind of thing. Is that sort of what we're talking about here?
It could be. They make that cartoon. They make The Simpsons. They make all the movies and stuff. They made the Avatar movie. They own Hollywood, right? So, and they get their ideas. They all discuss stuff at the cloning station like all night. It gets pretty boring there, because first, once they do the sex, and then they do death stuff to themselves, because they can turn. Somehow they have the tech to make the clone not feel any pain at all. They said it's something to do with how a person becomes a quadriplegic. Just the first second before they're quadriplegic, they can't feel any pain, stabbing in the thigh or anything, just like a quadriplegic can. Well, but they can still move around and stuff. They've done it to me. It feels weird. Like, they let me stab myself in the forearm and go, yick, 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 yick. right up the arm and didn't feel anything, and it's bleeding and stuff. It's pretty gross, and all kinds of stuff there. There's nothing to do there though once you do all the stuff, and the novelty wears off. But then you're not allowed to leave. If you want to leave, well, they only keep you if you're used for something, well, good looking for sex or something, or have some kind of talent or something. And if you try to talk, you say, oh, they say people that think they're in the fifth dimension or the astral plane or something, they'll go to the police and say, the world leaders are taking me to the fifth dimension or the astral plane and victimizing me, torturing me, like Chris Benoit as well. They killed him. Well, he killed himself.
We are waiting for breaking news on Studio B. A news conference is about to begin, and you can see what we believe to be some of the players walking up to tell us exactly what they know about what has happened. The man on the left is a former champion pro wrestler, WWE style. There are a lot of accusations and allegations about what's happened with him in domestic violence in his life. But today's accusation is this, that he shot his wife, that he murdered his wife, strangling her, then suffocated his own child in the child's bed, then at some point after went to his own weight room and hanged himself inside his home. Now, there is a lot to go around this Benoit character. Police say there was a divorce in the works, there's domestic violence history, and that now the investigation is into whether steroids might have set him off.
I'm Sergeant Keith Whiteside with the Fayette County Sheriff's Department. We're gathered here. We got a press release, give you a little information on the incident that took place here. I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Tommy Pope, lead investigator for the Fayette County Sheriff's Department, along with the District Attorney Scott Ballard. At this point in time, I'm going to turn it over to Lieutenant Pope. He can give you a little information, if you will. Allow them to get through with what they have to say, and then we'll take some questions afterwards.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you know, yesterday afternoon, approximately around 2:30, the Sheriff's Department received a call for a welfare check here at the Benoit residence. That call came from Mr. Benoit's employers. Apparently, he had missed some engagements earlier this weekend out of state. They became concerned for his health and well-being. The deputies arrived on scene. Once searching the house, they were able to locate 3 bodies inside of the home here. Those bodies were Mr. Benoit himself, his wife Nancy, and their son Daniel. All 3 subjects were deceased. From an investigation that has taken place since that time yesterday afternoon and continued at the crime lab earlier today, where autopsies were performed on all 3 subjects, we are now looking at this case and ruling it as a double homicide suicide. Evidence in the home leads us to believe that Mr. Benoit had sometime, possibly Friday, had murdered his wife by asphyxiation. Sometime shortly after that, on into early part of the weekend, the same for his son Daniel, and then maybe later on Saturday evening, sometime early Sunday, had committed suicide by hanging himself in the basement area.
But the thing was, they were torturing the hell out of him. Like Insane Clown Posse had a song made about him, and I actually did the lyrics for the song. They made me do it because I didn't want to, because I liked Chris Benoit. The thing was, they had his wife and his kid there, and they started hurting them too. And they were home throwing up and stuff, and he was trying to go to the police, and they wouldn't. Are you going to commercial again?
Yeah, we are. We've still got another 30 seconds or so to wrap up your point if you want.
Yeah, he tried to go to the cops. They sent him to the mental institution, and kind of like Tila said, he said, Queen Elizabeth is blasting me into another dimension, and she's torturing me there and forcing me to have sex with her and stuff. He said this to his therapist. This is like public knowledge now, though. And he was like, oh yeah, here, take these pills. And he's like, no, really, they're taking me to some place when I sleep. It's like, it's bad, man.
You know, it sounds sort of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They get you while you sleep.
Well, there's something like that I want to tell you about. That's
we'll be right back.
Lizard to do with it.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Just a few minutes. Welcome back. You're going to talk to us about the reptiles. And speaking of which, the reptilian conspiracy, This is the conspiracy that is used to demonize anybody. Like, I remember I was talking to a bunch of communists, right, about the two types of fluoride. You know, calcium fluoride, which actually is natural and not that bad for your teeth, and sodium fluoride, which is unnatural and comes from the phosphate fertilizer industry. And then straight off the bat, they said, "Oh, you're going to be talking about shape-shifting reptiles next."
Well, they're not shape-shifting. The thing is, I'm going to tell you what the shape-shift is, and it's really creepy. And this is the thing that they said that could wipe the world, people panicking with the riots and stuff. Because the cloning thing, people cloning people's kids, messing them up in the brain is bad enough. Remotely killing people who they don't like, which might happen to me, you never know. Thing is, the lizards. Okay, lizards been around a long time, like since before ancient Egypt and everything. And the symbol, you know, that eye, the eye of Horus with the squiggly hanging out of it, that has to do with lizards. It's a lizard symbol. It means two things. It's a pro-lizard symbol, and it also means beware, there's lizards here. Okay, there's 3 different kinds of lizards. I'll tell you all about them. They're called vril. The thing is, I'm not sure if it's 1 L or 2 at the end. It's vril, V-R-I-L-L or V-R-I-L. Germans were into them. They had a club with vril things. Anyway, there's like a 1 to 1.5 foot tall one. That's the vril type 1. It's got scales, red scales. There's a type 2 that is not parasitic, but it's still vicious, nasty, carnivorous. They're all carnivorous. And there's a type 3 that's 8 feet tall that has a real long neck and looks like a gray alien, but it comes from deep underground. Like below deep base deep. Like they need a methane oxygen mix to breathe, and deep underground they got sulfur pools, I guess, that make this stuff. Anyway, they come up underneath the domed bases. The government is complicit with them, basically. Now, different spots, and they infiltrate the society there. But the drones today have erased, well, 100 years ago, erased any existence of these vril lizards from, like, Egyptian carvings on walls. They would smash them, right? Or books that had anything in them about them, they would burn them. Because drones don't want to get found out and sent off and killed. Like, this is what I thought FEMA camps were for, rounding up drones, because they've been talking about it at the cloning center. This is where they discuss all political, worldly affairs. And they let me sit in, fly on the wall, because they figure nobody's going to ever believe me, that they can clone anybody in. Everybody there is bored of it, the whole technology. It lost the novelty like 10 years ago, right? So they go there and they talk to Brad Pitt and let me tell you, all the celebrities, because they bring them there and they tell them, look, you're here, you're going to hang with us. If you don't want to, well, if they cry and make a fuss like Lauryn Hill from the Fugees, make a song about I Get Out and stuff, they let her not go to the cloning station. They don't activate her, let her have normal dreams. But other people, they really grill them to stay. And they say, if you ever talk about it, you're going to die. It's pretty sick. So anyways, yeah, all that stuff is, you know, not true, and they know it. They just keep it going for like some stupid club, like the Devil Club. Ooh, we're cool, we're evil. It's just, they're a bunch of, basically it's a bunch of really rich, fat, old people that can't get laid, so they enslave people there to perv on them, right? Drug them, make them compliant through fear or drugs, and use them, because they'd have a hard time even paying a prostitute, really.
What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to kill me?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick. Oh, I'm dropping dimes tonight. I've had a long year, Mr. Lipton. Maybe the environment is a little sick.